Hey everyone, if you've got massive milestones coming up in 2026, let me tell you right now, funding them shouldn't feel like this constant, anxiety-inducing grind. The secret to hitting those big numbers? It's really not about painful sacrifice. It's about building smart, automated systems that literally do the heavy lifting for you.
Okay, let's dive into this. What is your absolute biggest life goal for 2026? Seriously, take a second right now to just visualize it. Maybe it's finally buying that dream home, maybe you're starting a family, or hey, perhaps you just want to pad out your retirement so you can breathe a little easier. Whatever it is, lock it in your mind.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to cover 5 key areas today: systems over sacrifice, rule-based saving, automated and hands-off methods, gamified challenges, and finally, zero-based control. Let's get to it. Section 1, systems over sacrifice. Before we touch a single dollar of your income, we've got to establish a foundational mindset. The core philosophy from our source material is exactly this. It's not about sacrificing everything, it's about creating smart, sustainable saving systems. Look, too often budgeting is rooted in fear or extreme deprivation, right? And that just leads straight to decision fatigue and burnout. But by framing saving as an empowering, systematic habit instead of a punishment, we completely neutralize that fear. That's how we set ourselves up for long-term success.
Section 2, rule-based saving strategies.
This brings us to our first tier of effort. This is absolutely perfect for those of you who just need a broad, structural baseline to operate from, without getting bogged down in the daily details. You're probably already familiar with the traditional 50-30-20 rule. It divides your income up really simply. 50% goes to your needs, 30% to your wants, and 20% strictly for savings. It's an incredibly straightforward structure. It prevents you from overspending on the essentials while actively removing that psychological guilt of just enjoying your money, because that 30%, that is strictly designated for your wants. But hey, let's be real about the economy right now. Living costs are rising rapidly, and that traditional model, it might not be feasible for everyone anymore. So enter the 2026 adaptation, the 70-20-10 rule. In this version, you allocate 70% to needs, 20% to wants, and 10% to savings. This adaptation really helps you prioritize those rising essential costs while still ensuring you're actively building a strong financial foundation step by step. Moving right along to Section 3, automated and hands-off saving. Now, if you want truly frictionless wealth building, this is your tier. This is the highly effective pay yourself first method. Step 1, your paycheck arrives. Step 2, an automatic transfer fires off immediately, sending a portion of your income directly into your savings. Step 3, you spend whatever balance is left over. By literally removing the money before you can even touch it, you're using that out of sight, out of mind psychological principle. It completely eliminates the temptation to overspend. But we can actually take that automation a step further with micro-investing roundups. This is where you use apps like Acorns or Capital to round up every single daily purchase to the nearest dollar, and it automatically invests that spare change. The best part, it operates entirely in the background. It is literally the ultimate set-it-and-forget-it strategy. It removes all behavioral friction for anyone who just doesn't want to deal with strict budgeting. And this brilliantly illustrates the whole concept. Say you buy a coffee for $4.75. The app automatically rounds it up, pulls an even $5 from your account, and invests that extra 25 cents. That invisible 25-cent difference compounds over time, steadily growing your wealth without you ever feeling a sense of sacrifice or really even noticing an impact on your daily finances. Section 4, gamified weekly money challenges. For those of you who thrive on momentum and incremental wins, the mechanics here are elegantly simple. It's the 52-week money challenge. In week 1, you save exactly $1. In week 2, you save $2. You just keep adding a single dollar to your savings target each week until week 52, where you save $52. By starting incredibly small, literally just a single dollar, you completely bypass that feeling of being overwhelmed that usually tanks a new savings plan. And the result? By the end of the year, just by gradually snowballing those single dollars, you will have actually accumulated an impressive $1,378. It is a fantastic way to ease into saving, building a habit that very quickly feels completely natural. But listen, if you want to push harder and save more aggressively, there's a $5 multiplier variation. So instead of increments of $1, you use multiples of 5. $5 in week 1, 10 in week 2, and the pattern just continues. By the end of the year, you'll be sitting on up to $7,000. Whether that's for a down payment on a house or some massive dream vacation, this multiplier variation is highly effective for building a serious financial cushion. Finally, Section 5, Zero-Based Total Dollar Control. This is the most active, intentional method for those of you ready to take absolute total charge of your income. Zero-based budgeting means assigning every single dollar a specific job at the very start of the month. So your income is fully allocated to categories like savings, bills, and long-term goals, with absolutely zero left over at the end. Popularized by apps like YNAB and EveryDollar, this powerful method forces complete and total intentionality with your finances. Now, what's really interesting about this is the core philosophical shift. You're moving from looking backward at scattered receipts to actively aiming an arrow at a target. You are shifting from tracking past spending to planning future dollars. Instead of just reacting to where your money went last month, you are actively directing where it will go next month. You're giving your money a mission. Because this is a high-effort method, it yields massive results. It creates total cash flow awareness. It actively identifies those invisible expenses that quietly drain your potential. It eliminates unnecessary costs, and above all, it builds incredibly robust financial discipline. When you plan for every single dollar, you become hyper-focused on accelerating your big life goals. As we wrap up this explainer, here is the final truth about all of these systems. Consistency is the key. Take the first step today. Whether you choose to automate invisible 25-cent roundups or you track every single penny with a zero-based budget, consistency beats perfection every single time. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. Which system will fund your 2026 goals? Look at your life, your habits, and your ambitions. Choose your method right now, take that crucial first step, and start your wealth building journey today. Catch you next time.